When people ask me how I've managed to go from an overseas trained nurse to being a band 7 staff nurse that I am today, here are the things I tell them. Oh, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lele, and if this is your first time stopping on this channel, I say very big thank you. And for all of you who are my returning subscribers, thank you. Thank you for always sticking with me. Thank you for watching all my videos. So I am a band 7 staff nurse working in one of the trusts here in the UK, and I am currently leading the preceptorship program in the trust where I work. By the reason of my current role in my trust, I work with a lot of newly qualified nurses and also overseas nurses that have just come into the UK, because it doesn't matter how long qualified you are, it doesn't matter how many years you've worked in your home country before coming into the UK. Once you join any new trust, it's important for you to go through the preceptorship program. Now, originally the preceptorship program is designed for newly qualified nurses in their first 12 months post qualifying, but for people that are coming from outside of the UK, it assumes that coming into a new working environment, you need time to actually learn about the trust you're working in. You need time to learn more about the NMC code of conduct, and it's in an environment such as a preceptorship program that you will get that confidence you need to fully integrate yourself into a new working environment and to navigate life as a new person working in the UK. One of the frequent questions I get asked by some overseas nurses is how myself as an overseas nurse have gotten to the point where I am, because I'm teaching. So when they come to my class and see that this is someone like themselves who was once an overseas trained nurse leading the program, they would always ask me, how did I do it? What sometimes I just feel like I'm repeating myself over and over and over again, but I love people that have a sense of wonder, because at some point there was also someone else I was asking that question. When it comes to the nursing profession, everyone knows that there are many routes you can take. Some people are career oriented like myself. Other people are really in here for the money. Okay, let's not even mince words about it. It's all about the money for some people, myself inclusive. All right, now when I say that, what I mean is that some people don't really care about going through band 6 or band 7 or becoming a specialist in any area of nursing. Their business is to get really good clinically and then be agency nurses, because that's where the money is, right? But for those people that really want to grow in the NHS as a professional, it's important that you get it right when you are just starting. So when people ask me how I've managed to go from an overseas trained nurse to being a band 7 staff nurse that I am today, here are the things I tell them. Number 1, make peace with you being in a very completely different environment from where you were coming from. All right, have an attitude for learning, because even if you've worked for 10 years from Nigeria or Ghana or India or wherever it is you've come into the UK from, there is still so much to learn. Okay, now at the core of it, patient care is the same. I like to believe that patient care is the same everywhere. Now, the processes might differ, the materials and the equipment might differ, but the care that we give to our patients, the attitude we bring into work looking after our patients, it is the same everywhere. All right, so the first thing I tell people is to make sure that they are hungry to learn new things and they are not scared to ask questions. The number 2 thing is really to find out for yourself what it is you want out of the nursing profession. If you want to go in the direction of being an agency nurse, then there isn't really any need for you to spend your time going to the university to learn how to be an advanced nurse. But that doesn't mean that if you want to have that as a backup plan, because at some point in life you would want to slow down and then be an advanced nurse, by all means go to the university and do all of that course. But if at the moment what you want to do is you are all about that money, then all I will advise you to do is to make sure that you are focusing on working in high acuity areas such as surgical units or IT ICU or emergency department where you can see lots and lots of cases, lots of turnover of cases. That way you become a lot more skilled, because as an agency nurse you get exposed to lots of cases. And if you work in all of these areas, you become more accustomed to working wherever, anywhere you go to work, you are confident in your role, you know how to deliver. The third thing is knowing how to ask for help. Remember what I said in the second one is for you to identify what it is you want out of the nursing profession. So let's say, for instance, you want to go in the managerial aspect. If you want to become a nurse manager by being sister in charge and then graduating up to band 6 or band 7, becoming a ward manager, what you then have to focus on is people management. And what that means is that you have to be vocal. You need to be liaising with your ward manager or your sister in charge, showing interest in shadowing people who are in managerial positions. You can choose a day to have a management day working with your manager to see the sort of things they do in the office. Now, I say this, but if you are an overseas trained nurse coming into the UK, it's important for you to give yourself time during the preceptorship program to really ground yourself, to understand once again your scope of competence, to grow in your confidence in terms of everything that you're doing with your patient care, and to know how to raise concerns safely within your working area. Now, there is something that I have come across quite a lot, and this is people telling me that they are unable to move forward in their profession, they are unable to bring themselves forward because certain positions are meant for certain people. If you are watching this video today and you are a nurse in the UK, or you are a nurse planning to come into the UK to work, this is me telling you that the opportunities to grow professionally in this country is diverse. It is so wide that there is room for everyone. So when you come into this country and you start hearing things about, don't even apply for that role, it's meant for certain people, don't even go there, they already know who's going to get that job. No. Listen, when I applied for my role that I'm doing right now, okay, a lot of people thought that I was just going to waste my time. But I knew that I had prepared myself. I knew that this is the job I want. I have made all of the inquiries I needed. I have asked questions. I've shadowed people. The team that is recruiting for that role, I've worked with them. I've volunteered to work with them. So they know what I'm capable of. And people were like, how did you do it? And for me to have prepared myself for that role, I knew the stress that have already gone down in preparing for myself. So I had no second doubt that that job will be mine as long as it's been advertised, okay? And this is not to say that if there was someone who was better, they wouldn't have taken the person, but I wouldn't take the blow of me not getting that role badly. All I would do is to be patient and wait for another opportunity to come out, and then I will still go for it. Because again, the role I do now is tied to rapid response, which is more like an outreach nurses that go off to the ward to review very poorly patients. And I didn't want to be that type of nurse. I did not want to be a rapid response nurse. And when this role came out, I had an informal conversation with the lady who's recruited, and I said, I love teaching, but I do not want to do rapid response. First time they had this interview, it was for someone who would do more of rapid response than teaching. So say 80% of rapid response and 20% of teaching. And I did not qualify at that time. And I went home happy knowing that if they gave me that role as a rapid response, that is not where my passion lies. I wouldn't really do much. I wouldn't really, shine in that role. So I let it slide. And 2 weeks later, I got a call from the same team where they're telling me that there is now an 80% opportunity for a teacher and 20% option for a rapid response. And I fit really nicely into that role. And that was how I got my role. And they just said to me, if you want the job is yours. You've already interviewed, you don't have to interview again. And that's the way it goes. So if you believe that this role, they have certain people in mind for it, I don't think that I would have gotten that job. Do you get? So do not let anyone talk you out of the things you know you are capable of getting. As long as you have done the background work, you have prepared yourself. Let's say, for instance, you have an interest in becoming a stroke sister, or you have an interest in becoming a tissue viability nurse, or you want to be a diabetic nurse. What you have to make sure that you are doing is that you're shadowing people that are working in this department. Every time you have patients that have got diabetic background or stroke background, you're paying closer attention to see how they are being managed, how different things can come across in these cases, and what are the different ways they can be managed, okay? And if there are opportunities for you to get more knowledge by going back to the university or doing some day courses or doing some few months course in that area that you like, these are the things you're going to be doing. The fourth thing is to take your appraisals very, very seriously. Okay, so some people think that appraisal is just your manager giving you a form for you to take home or fill it at work and then come and answer a series of questions. No, I look at appraisals as the driver that will take you from where you are to exactly where it is you want to be in your profession. When I was working in a surgical unit, then I was still a band 5, I knew that I want to teach. It became very, very clear to me that I'm going to go in the direction of practice education. And what I wrote in my appraisal is that I'm looking for opportunities for teaching. And what am I going to do to get there? I'm going to be volunteering wherever there is need for people to come and do practice education roles or teach or help in any teaching engagement. I'm always happy to go there and volunteer. Sometimes I do it in my own time. No one pays me for it, but it's what I want, so I'm going to put in the time to get there. And I put all of these things in my appraisal. And when I had a chat with my coach at work at the time, she was the one that told me all the people that are involved in, registering people in the university for them to get a professional teaching certificate. And that's exactly what I did. And by the time I got the admission, it was my manager's position to sign me off to say she's happy to give me days off or study leave to go and attend my courses on the days that I need to attend. I didn't stop work. I was still doing my 37.5 hours a week, but amongst my hours was a day or 2 days off per week where I can attend my university lectures. And the reason I was able to get this was because it was already in my appraisal, because it wasn't just the fact that my manager was going to sign me off. The matrons as well was going to endorse that, because the hospital was paying nearly £2,600 for that course, so it has to go through many people's office for them to endorse it. But the first thing the matrons will always ask is, has this person mentioned this in their appraisal? Is it part of their career progression plan? So the best thing you can do for yourself is to make sure that you have a very, very clear and legit career progression plan. Whatever it is you want to do, make sure you are reflecting that on your appraisal, so that if your manager is probably not the kind of person that is pushing you to get what you want, you can meet the matrons, you can meet the department directly that hold the role that you are eyeing. If they have got an opportunity, then you can come back to your manager and say, I've had a chat with this person, they've got this opportunity, I need you to sign this for me. And in many cases that I have seen this situation, the managers are always happy to support the person to move forward. The fifth thing I'm going to add here is for you to get yourself a coach or get yourself a mentor. Listen, no one person knows it all, okay? The person who was my coach isn't even a nurse. She was an apprentice manager, but she knows, she has got information of people that makes things happen in the hospital. So whatever it is you want to do, you need the right contact, you need the right people to speak to. All right, so get yourself a mentor, get yourself a coach, put your ear to the ground wherever there is anything interesting happening. I'm not saying go to all of the events in the hospital, but if there are some events happening and it's linked to what you want to do, go out there, meet people, socialize. And people look mean before you start talking to them. By the time you get to know people a lot better, you would see that they are most likely willing to help you to achieve whatever it is you are aiming at. Okay, so don't subscribe to people telling you that it is only people from XYZ country, or it is only people with XYZ skin color that can get certain things within the NHS. That is a blatant lie. Do not subscribe to that. So thank you so much for watching this video today. If you are already a nurse here in the UK and you are hungry for growth and you are doing everything you can to level up in your profession, I wish you all the best, and I hope that all of the effort you are putting into becoming a better version of yourself, it will continue to pay off. Once again, please do not spend your time listening to dream killers. Do not listen to anyone who wants to talk you out of what you know you can get for yourself, because I'm telling you, there isn't anywhere better for you to grow professionally than within the NHS. I hope that you have found today's video helpful. If you know anyone that can benefit from this video today, please by all means share this video with them, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Please take care of yourself. Bye now.